Well, hello. Here we
Hi,
are.
hi, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and our topic tonight is we actually, since we started season two, we've been a bit salacious with these topics, haven't we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I know this is almost starting to turn into legal tea time, and
Yes, but that's okay. That's okay. We have some faithful followers that just love us and whatever we do and however we flow, they right with us. They right with us. That's okay.
so tonight is going to be uber interesting because we are talking about none other than a lady who decided. Okay, I want to start here. When
Okay,
I
but use the term loosely when you say lady. I know you're gonna shade me already. I know.
I brought out the shades today because I said
Let's
to myself that I'm gonna be shady today. Okay.
let's just say a female human. A female human. Like that. Ay, ay, ay. So this
Okay.
female human, I'm sorry.
You, you are so right. So I saw this and I thought to myself, er? I was sitting there like, and then I said, okay, this is a joke, right? So I thought, because I first saw it on the Shade Room. And let me tell you, while the Shade Room is very good at being correct, the Shade Room is starting to get to the point where it is a little too salacious. So I'm beginning to think to myself, oh no, maybe they didn't vet the story correctly. But
When
I'm
you look on
like,
the wire, you realize, yeah, the story is correctly. But
exactly.
we are jumping into the middle. I'm Judge Dawn. She's Judge Vivian. We're just so excited about our new topic. We welcome to As the Law Turns.
Yes,
It's Judge
welcome to
Vivian's
As the Law Turns with me,
brainchild.
guys. Hi,
Yes,
Twitter, TikTok.
thank you. Holla, Twitter, and TikTok, whatever that means. Okay, so we are on Facebook Live. This is Judge Vivian's brainchild, and it's she envisioned this, I guess, a couple of years ago, in the
Yeah,
effort, in the attempt to spurn some interest in law and legally related topics
yes.
to the minority population. We claim to be part of the three percenters, and the three percenters are the 3% of African American females that are lawyers or in the legal field. So her brainchild was to have this kind of a Facebook Live format. Now we're tweeting and blogging and Facebook and Twitters and everything else. Anyway, all the social media to have interest. The format is you talk to us, you comment to us, and we pick a topic, or you can help us pick a topic for the next show, which is every Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Every Thursday at 7 o'clock to discuss. We're not giving legal advice. This is a show for entertainment purposes only. We are licensed lawyers. We're members of the Florida Bar, but we're not giving legal advice.
Let me throw our banner in there.
No, there's the disclaimer. I am a former county court judge and a prosecutor. Judge Vivian is a former assistant public defender. So we are active members of the Florida Bar, but we are not giving legal advice because you don't pay us enough on Twitter and Facebook and the Twitter, whatever, to be your lawyer. But we welcome you to join in every week as we discuss legal topics, and we are excited about this legal topic. Okay, now you are cut.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you, Judge, for that beautiful introduction. She just make up words when she wants to, y'all. Oh, she a former judge, though. I gotta let her have it. So tonight we are talking about a woman who decide. Or wait, what was your shade? A person of the female
A female
persuasion.
human. A female human.
Female human.
Mhm.
A woman who decided to. I don't even think she knew this man. Decided to have intercourse. Okay, mind you, there's some things we will not be able to say on Facebook, so we gotta we gotta be the
Yeah.
light version.
Yeah.
And they chose to do it in a car, and in that car,
The it is sexual relations. Mm.
yeah, that's the word we can't say. So so she chose to be happy in a car. with said man for a little bit. And it just so happens that she finds out a couple weeks later she has HPV. And she is mad because she now has an STD. And she decides to sue the man for harm and but then she decides to also enjoin, dun 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 dun, you're about to hear me right, GEICO insurance.
Yeah, is it right? GEICO, the big insurance agency, GEICO. GEICO, the green gecko, the one that has commercials every 15 seconds. Yeah, she decides to sue GEICO.
Yes, she decides to sue GEICO because GEICO is her insurance coverage, his insurance coverage of the car. And she says that they should also be responsible for the fact that she got an STD from him while deciding to have relations with him in his car.
Now,
my brain
he knew about it. He knew that he had an STD. I think the allegations that he didn't disclose, I don't know if it's a failure to disclose lawsuit or whatever, but he knew he had an STD.
Yes. So he knew he had an STD, and he decided to continue with his relations with said woman. And unfortunately, that then put him in a lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit is very hush hush. It's a lot of stuff we won't be able to get, including their names. Actually, are currently. Now, GEICO is asking that their names be brought out because GEICO is, of course, suing her, countersuing her, saying that it was not in connection with the actual usage of the car, such as driving a car accident, parking the car, basically in any ways that, we use a car. And GEICO was like, hey, they weren't using the car for that purpose. Now I'm just going to be, me here, and I'm going to play devil's advocate for like 2 seconds. And I'm going to throw out here, in a way, though, it has that not been a usage for cars? And can we say by common practice that has been a usage for cars to kind of thwart this idea?
Okay. By custom or common practice, yes, there are things that happen in cars, but let's say the legal stuff not used for its intended purpose.
True. Now,
yes. True. Like you can use Gorilla Glue to say on your weed, but that's not used for its. I'm not throwing shade. You can use Gorilla Glue to show on your weed, but that's not its intended purpose. You can use Coca-Cola to clean battery acid off your car, but that's not its intended purposes. So true. GEICO is saying that's beyond what they insure. That's beyond the contract that they have with their insured, who also has been named by initials in the lawsuit. So the woman is suing the man. Mm-hmm. The woman is also suing GEICO. Yes. And GEICO is also suing the woman, which we call a countersuit.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like all tangled. What's tangled web we weave, as they say. Somebody on TikTok said, Hood Ricolo said they goofy for trying to sue GEICO for that. I agree. That's what makes this more fun.
When law school, Judge Vivian and I went to law school like eons apart. But there's some standard things in law school we talked about. You can indict at ham sandwich. That doesn't mean it didn't stick. You could almost file charges against anybody for anything.
True.
That doesn't mean it didn't stick. So she's within her right. I don't say sanity. She is within her right, I guess, to sue GEICO, because courthouses are public avenues and the laws are public avenues to address your grievances when kind of nothing else works. That's where you're not to be. But when Judge Vivian brought this topic up, one of the first questions I had was, what is the real purpose of the lawsuit? I mean, the real purpose. You're not seeking $5 million for an HPV. I mean, you're just not. What is the real purpose of the lawsuit?
Exactly.
That was my first question. What are you doing? What are you doing? Some lawsuits are attempted to bring about social change. A lot of stuff we do about civil rights, gay rights, animal rights, speeding laws, marriage laws, adoption laws, just were brought about by some private person trying to effect social change.
Yes.
I don't know what social changes she's trying to effect.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn it around. Let's see. You guys can see my screen, so you can see the judge too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Judge. Keep going. I'm just gonna turn the camera to you and not me.
What social change is she attempting to effectuate?
I feel like she's just gonna open the floodgates. Because think about it like this: if they would have went to a hotel, would she have sued the W? Would she have sued the Hilton? Would she have sued? You know what I'm trying to say? The man had an STD. She chose to have intercourse with him, and then she gets mad because she has the STD. Mind you, I know that's probably not the best thing that most people walk around here going, "Oh, let me go get an STD." But I don't think that she should be able to enjoin an insurance company like this when it had no purpose or connection to the insurance company in the first place.
I thought you were going to say, I don't think she'd be able to enjoy. I said, oh, no, she didn't. I didn't wait for the okay. Enjoin. Sorry. Let's keep it good. Enjoin an insurance company.
Somebody on Facebook said he went raw too. I'm sorry, it is actually true. Yes, they did not use protection according to the article. They did not use protection. Daniel W. Thomas Hay from San Diego High and Pamela Ogata on Facebook just said, not the Gorilla Glue, Judge.
I love the Gorilla Glue story. I love it. Now, the chances of fraud on this in light, it's just unbelievable. Let me
her getting in trouble for committing a fraud.
Pardon?
You mean her getting in trouble because she is committing fraud?
No,
she like the person that burned down their house.
She may have a legitimate lawsuit. I'm saying Mary sleeps with Tom, allegedly. Tom has the venereal diseases. Mary says to Tom, we can make a mint off of this, Tom. If you don't mind being exposed, your business being all exposed, we could retire early. So Mary sues Waldorf. She sues 7-Eleven, wherever she has this intercourse. So the potential for fraud is just unbelievable. I'm going to digress just a little bit. When I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, they were food stamps, and food stamps were actual stamps. You tear it out of a book like you did at Disney World in 1972 when I first went to Disney World. You had a book. You tore it out of the book. The potential for fraud and mismanagement that was so great. The federal government had to protect themselves from going from food stamps to a card, because people were actually selling their stamps. They were actual food stamps and imitating their stamps and duplicating their stamps. And so the potential, what she's setting up, potential for lawsuits, floodgate, fraud is just astronomical.
It is
astronomical.
Because where is the drawing line? Just because I visited a place, now I know in a way this throws in tort law a little bit too. Just because I visited a place means I can sue them. I mean, you can sue people if you fall in a store or something, but that's different because it causes the store itself was a part of the quote unquote harm. Right. In this particular instance, the GEICO wasn't a part of the harm. GEICO, him and the car to me are too far removed for her to say, oh, I blame GEICO because they're the person who insured his car and I happen to be in the car, which I chose to be. That is the biggest thing for me here. She chose to be with that man. She chose to sleep with that man. She chose to do so without protection. And then she chose to do so in his car.
And for those of you who thinks the story is just amusing, it doesn't amount to anything. 15 years from now, when you try to fill out a policy, who do you sleep with? How often do you sleep with that person? Do you use protection? Do you have an STD? Oh. Here we go.
Wow. I just want
car insurance. I just wanted to protect me when I run a stop sign or when somebody hits me. Now I have to expose all of my personal life.
You know what? I did not think of that part. You are correct, Judge. So what ends up happening is people start to get, now I just want to throw out here, a lot of people like to get mad at lawyers. This is why.
This is why. Be involved.
This
This
is
is why.
we're so deeply embedded in your contracts in your life, because as Judge just said, what now happens when you go to get car insurance? Car insurance agencies are not going to be concerned that they're going to get sued for somebody being in somebody else's car and getting an STD. So now they're going to have to put new rules. And if you're too much of a risk or harm because you have an STD that may be incurable, let's say you have an incurable one, like I believe HPV, it can be in some circumstances. Now we've changed how you get car insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of it is good, some of it is bad. The transition when we started talking about cigarette smoking, do you smoke? How much do you smoke? But now it's just getting, you get insurance with health insurance. Have you ever had a miscarriage? How many miscarriages was the result of? Really? I mean, I'm not a perfect human being. My body's not perfect. My driving record is not perfect, but I don't intentionally do these things. So I want someone to insure me against harm and liability. Now we're opening up just all this personal things. And I respect her right to sue. I just don't understand what her purpose was. Somewhere in the article I read that they reached some sort of agreement. So why don't you go away quietly? If it's your medical bills, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I do not respect her right to sue here. I don't. No, I am throwing all the shade on her on this one. I am sorry. This is my shady night. Let me put my glasses on, because usually Judge be throwing it all shade. Somebody said, "What are we talking about?" For those that just joined us, we are talking about a young lady who had unprotected intercourse with a gentleman in his car, and she got HPV, an STD, in the course of that unprotected intercourse. She then enjoins GEICO, his insurance company, in this lawsuit because she believes that GEICO is now, because GEICO is their insurance claimant and the insured party of the car. So she decides to enjoin them in the lawsuit, and now is suing GEICO for an undisclosed amount. And right now the file is pretty confidential, so it's not as much information. But GEICO, of course, being GEICO, is countersuing her and basically saying, hey, this wasn't in the course of the particular use of a car, like a car accident or driving or parking or something of that nature. You can't sue us. And so, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Mind, body, moolah on TikTok. So I'm throwing all the shade. I don't know. Look at I love my glasses on this one. I gotta get me some more shade so I can change it up every now and again. But I am throwing all the shade, which is why my shades are on her today. She made choices, and now she has to live with the consequences of her choices.
And the interesting thing, it's had some traction. Some lawyer, I shouldn't roll my eyes like that. Some counselor, some attorney at law thought enough to pick it up.
No, some attorney at law saw the money. Oh, stop. Wait a minute.
No. Too much, too far, too fast, too soon.
Somebody said, but they can save you 15% or more in 5 minutes. You know what GEICO should do? GEICO should, if GEICO decides to get in health insurance, this is the perfect tagline. We'll protect you from STDs and save you 15% on your car.
You can do it on a plane. You can do it on a train. You can do it on the floor. You can do it on the door. We'll protect you. Well,
GEICO got a new tagline, yo. I even tried to study. I don't see this. I don't like it. And I don't like the courts entertaining it. I think the minute it hit the court should be like, sit down. They should be like, we have better things to do.
I guess the thing is, you have to have some legal reason besides, are you crazy? Are you wasting my time with this? So you fashion some sort of order, and the bottom line is case dismissed or parties dismissed or enjoinder dismissed, but you have to have some legal reason, legal standard, not just, I don't like this. But the laws are here to
And my
protect
legal
everybody.
reason is frivolous. It is frivolous.
Frivolous.
There is
That's a good
no
one.
connection
Frivolous.
between this
No
insurance
legal basis at
company.
all. Exactly.
Exactly. I
Frivolous.
think it has no
Frivolous.
legal basis. That's literally her buying a defective product, said
Yes.
man, and then suing the company when she knew the product was defective. Last time I checked in product liability, if you know the harm is already there, they be like,
You assume the risk.
you assume
Or the
the
harm.
risk.
You assume
You
the risk.
decided
You
to
assume the
sleep
risk.
with some random man that you didn't know in the back of his car without protection. You assume the risk that you could get an STD.
Well, even, I can narrow it more than that. I sleep with somebody that I know very well, and he has an STD. I didn't know the STD or not, and I'm going to sue GEICO. My personal responsibility is that my obligation, my debt, whatever, my connection is to the person, not to GEICO. It just goes too far. It just
Me
goes
and
too far.
far. Somebody said, wouldn't it make more sense to sue his or her health insurance company? You know what? I thought about that bad boy, and I was just like, ooh, that actually would have been a decent lawsuit. And I have to say, I wouldn't have considered it frivolous, although I still would fault her more than not. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to shame her here. I think women have their own choices. Men and women have their own choices in life. But I think when you make a choice, there's a consequence. So for instance, when people, and I'm just going to go real simplistic here, if you eat chocolate too much and you know that you have an allergy to chocolate and you have that allergic reaction, that was your choice and your decision. You can't go then sue Hershey because you sat there in the parking lot and ate said chocolate bar. Like, I don't think that that is fair. And I think that at some point we have to start putting the brakes on things like this so that we don't, like I mentioned earlier, end up having the floodgates and having people just saying, oh, I did this. Oh, let's do this. And I guarantee you, even if she loses, I'm sorry, she went, GEICO wins. Yes, I was right the first time. Even if GEICO wins, they're going to change policies now and probably start asking you about your health.
Yeah.
Just because it's a safety measure. Now that we know that there's a harm, just like when you mentioned Gorilla Glue, now that Gorilla Glue knows there is a harm, they can no longer say that they don't believe that people can use this product for their hair and it would never come up anymore.
Right.
So now Gorilla Glue, all new products, if their attorney is awake, and I'm pretty sure the attorney is awake after that incident because that went on for months. Now all new Gorilla Glue products are likely going to have another warning label that it's going to also say is not usable for hair, should not be used on hair, should not be used to lay your edges, should not be used to make your hair slick back and be straight. So I got a feeling that even though GEICO may win this one, GEICO's probably going to be like, yeah, we're not. We just
but that just makes it so much difficult for all of us. I mean, and really, and like I said, I hate, don't use the word respect, but I have just to respect that her right to file a lawsuit is frivolous, and I think it is, but it just makes it harder to deal with everybody. It's just so complicated now to just live life. I can't pick up the phone and ask about my brother, my mother, but without going my date of birth, my social security, the last four of their social security, where was I born? What? Oh my gosh, I'm the sister, I'm the daughter, I'm the wife. I'm just calling to ask about. No, and that's a caution. But all the stuff is a result of someone filing a lawsuit, frivolously or not frivolously. But it really makes our life complicated. It really speaks about how much we don't trust each other, how far we've come, where is our personal responsibility. You don't ask a simple question, whether it's a lie or not. Do you have an STD, by the way? Do you have an HB? I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just curious. By the way, as I'm taking my shirt and bra off, do you have something I need to concern about? No, I just parked the car and moved the gear shift, and here we are. I'll worry about it later.
I agree with you. It makes things more difficult for us in the future, and it's the same thing as when we mentioned about like telephone contracts. And now people are trying to figure out why, telephone contracts or buying a computer is there's a 25-page warranty in it. This is why, because people do things like this. People don't want to be held, in my opinion, be responsible for their consequences, and they want to blame others, and they want to put said things onto others and thereby cause all of these added problems. So I am just like, the whole time I was thinking of this, I was like, nope, 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 nope. If I was the judge on this case, I would be like, nopey, nope, nope, nope. I would bring her in. I would bring her in and I would look her dead in the face. I would have like a Judge Lynn Toller moment, or like what's the other one?
Joe Brown? I'm showing my age. Joe Brown? Does Joe Brown?
Brown or Judy. And I would just be like, ma'am, let's just start here.
That's a Judge Tolliver. That's her. Yeah. That's a moment. Yeah.
I would have to literally like go, what's the lady just said, it's going viral right now. In order not to really go off on her, I would probably have to do what the lady just did on Steve Harvey. What is it? Family Feud. She was like, Holy Spirit, activate, activate. I would have to call in some extra help because I just don't know how I would say that nicely to her. I would probably look at her and just be like, first of all, what you ain't gonna do is waste my time.
Right. This is not what's not gonna happen. We get that straight. I don't want to end without emphasizing to our listeners the purpose of this, as the law turns, is to get you interested in law. Some of the conversations we're going to do are funny. Some are serious, hurtful, painful issues. Some of the stories. Some of them are delightful. Some of them not so delightful. Some of them involve animals or children or missing people or gorilla glues or sex in the parking lot you see in GEICO and the GEICO lizard kind of stuff, but it's a very serious thing. We've said this before. Law affects almost everything you do. Yes. Where you can have your mailbox, almost how to address letters, which school you can go to, how much taxes you pay, how to get divorced, when to get divorced, how to buy a house, when to buy a house, how to change your name, when to change your name. Everything is a law. So even if you don't go to law school to become a lawyer, have an interest in it. Have an interest in what's going on in your neighborhood. Try to affect change. Try to do something positive for the law. It's not about making money. Judge Vivian was a public defender, making about $2.17 per client. Sometimes 300 and 400 clients. Sometimes court 50 hours a week and the weekends. It's not about the money. Everybody wants to make money. We want to live. But this law, don't do it just for the money. Everybody wants an income. Everybody wants money, but you spend a lot of time being involved in other people's lives and being concerned about other people's issues. So think about it. Think about being a lawyer. It's a nice way to live. It is.
Great. I have to somewhat agree with you. I just thought about the money. No, I'm joking. She's right. I was a public defender for about 5 years, so I completely understand that. And to respond to the guy Hood Rico on TikTok, she actually is a former sitting judge of Volusia County Court for over
14 years.
14 years. She was a sitting judge on the bar for 14 years. So she just retired December 2019, actually now.
Yeah.
So yes, for those that say she even sounds like a judge, that's because she was. I consider you always a judge. Once a judge, always a judge.
Robe wearing judge.
So yes, she did have the black robe on for 14 years, and had quite a few criminal law and civil cases. I happened to be in front of her as one of the lawyers in her courtroom for quite some time. As she said earlier, we are in the 5% of lawyers. So that means that only 5% of lawyers in the United States are Black, 2% are women, and 3% are Black men. My goal is to increase that. I did a video where they was like, I understood the assignment, and I was like, I'm in that 5%. And I want to get more brown-skinned people, women, men into the legal profession just in a better way. And I think some of that is to show it's not quite stuffy. We aren't all boring. We do laugh. Cases can be interesting, even though this is a serious topic, because as Judge mentioned, there are going to be some changes that are unfortunately going to happen as a result of this new lawsuit. And Yeah, law can also be fun and exciting, and we can laugh and joke and throw some shade. I do. That's what I pull out my glasses for when I have my shade moment. So we thank you guys for joining us tonight. It is
every Thursday, 7 o'clock.
We do this every Thursday night at 7 p.m. The show is called As the Law Turns. We have a Facebook page. I am probably going to start an Instagram, but y'all help me. Y'all got to put that on some prayer because I got a lot of stuff I'm already doing. But you can find some of the episodes or links through my Instagram page, Vivian W-E-S-Q, stands for Vivian Williams Esquire. That's my law firm page as well, from Vivian Williams Law. It's my show. I'm gonna plug myself. Yes, I have a boutique law firm that does trademarks, copyrights, contracts, business formations, and criminal defense. And I'm hoping to start a new area of law very soon. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. We had a lot of
Thank
fun.
you. And come back. Thank you. Come back.
Next Thursday at 7 o'clock.
They've missed it.
But we will see you later. Bye. Bye. Okay.
They missed a real interesting topic.
Oh, they did.